Flosstube friends, welcome to Rose Cottage Creates. My name's Emma. For anyone that's just joining today, anyone that's returning back, hello, welcome, thank you so much for being here with me today. I am recording this morning, Saturday the 14th of June, so it was a very last minute thrown together let's film, because my husband Kev has just took our son Alfie out to play football. It's absolutely poured down this morning. Like, we had 5 minutes of full-on torrential thunder. Oh, literally the heavens opened, and now it is absolutely glorious sunshine outside. So the boys have disappeared for a bit to go and play a bit of football. So I thought, right, it's been a couple of weeks, it's been about 3 weeks, I think, since my last video. Which has flown by. I always think that I'll come on sooner, and oh my gosh, I don't know whether everyone else is the same, but the weeks seem to fly, and then I think, oh no, I've still not recorded another video. So I'm back, I'm here, hello, welcome. Hope you're all well, hope you're all stitching. I hope you've all got much more stitching in than I have this last week. Yeah, I must admit, normally there's not a day that goes by that I don't put a couple of stitches into something, but I must admit this last week is just, I don't know, life's just taken me in a different route, I think, yet still creative. So it's Alfie's last, well, it's all the kids obviously, their last term in school now before summer, but obviously it's Alfie's last final stretch at primary school as well. We're coming to the end of primary school now, so it has all been a little bit crazy with sports days and trips to everywhere, basically a cathedral for oh, there's been all sorts going on. Basically all last week was just a crazy week full of everything. And also Alfie is taking part in something next week called the Smile Challenge. So if anyone is not aware of the tragic events that happened here last summer in Southport with the 3 beautiful girls at the Taylor Swift dance event, then you'll know that a lot of charities have been set up to fund different things, obviously to do with the girls and whatever has been picked. Anyway, there's a charity called BB's Hive. So basically the kids are doing something called the Smile Challenge next week in school. So they're working in small teams, and they've had to come up with different things to make, basically to sell. It's kind of a bit like you'd have a cake sale, but obviously the kids could decide what they wanted to make to sell for other children to bring in some money and purchase, and then obviously all profits are going to go to BB's Hive charity, which is amazing. So as soon as I heard the word craft, I'm on it. I'm like, right, come on Alfie, let's see what we can make. So basically there's not been much stitching going on, but there's been an awful lot of bookmark making, bracelets. Yeah, so that's I don't know whether Alfie's made many, but I certainly have. So yeah, many days last week was just sat at the table creating all things for that. So I'll add a little picture if you're interested. So yeah, we've got Minecraft and Stitch bookmarks and lots of bracelets as well. So we're hoping that they'll sell really well next week, and obviously all money will go to a wonderful charity there. So yeah, so that's taken me away from a bit of my stitching really, but obviously I don't mind. It's fine. Anything to do with craft and I'm the first there. So yeah, so what have we been up to? I have some whips that I've been carrying on with. I've got an FFO, yeah. It was actually a new start, since I think we didn't even see it, didn't even speak of it on the last video. So we've got a new start, which has been finished, which has now been fully finished into something that I'm pretty proud of. Well, I'm pretty proud of. Hopefully you'll like it. So we'll get to those in a minute. So as I think I mentioned last time, I joined Patreon for the witchy stitcher. I quite like hair things. I know Halloween and stuff like that isn't everyone's cup of tea, but I do quite like some of her pieces, and I have actually just pre-ordered. Now she's got a book coming out I think it's August, I'm pretty sure it's August. And you can pre-order that now. I think it's on it is on a website, and it's on most bookshops as well, and obviously Amazon. So that's pre-ordered, that's out in August. I think it contains 25 patterns. I'm pretty sure it was 25, but if it's something you're interested in, you can always go and check that out. But yeah, so I joined her Patreon, and the last month I did show the picture of it. I'll pop another. I've only got the black and white version here, but if you remember, it was a graveyard wonder, it was called. So that was it there. That was the pattern. But obviously, like I say, that's just the black and white one. If I can add a picture, I'll pop it in here. But I've absolutely been loving that pattern. I just think it's amazing. I think it's so detailed. The only thing that I've found, and I don't know whether it's just because it's me and I'm new to cross stitch, there is an awful lot of colour change. So I feel like sometimes you'll just do a couple of stitches in one colour and then we've moved on to another one. So I'm probably a bit slow at that, and I'm still trying to work out where I'm up to with all the colours. But I'll show you where I think I've made pretty good progress on that one. I mean, it doesn't look like much now I'm showing it, but it's been many hours already spent on that. But I just think it's incredible. I mean, the detail, the way the colours are changing and the detail it's already picking up in his jacket. Oh, I think it's going to be amazing. I think there's a tiny bit of back stitching to do. So he wears, like, I'm guessing like a monocle, is it? The eye on his eye there. So I need to do that in the back stitching. But at the moment, I've just been concentrating on getting all the crosses in because it's a big pattern. So so your pattern comes, the way it's printed out, it's on 4 sheets. So it's like quarters. So I've completely, I think that was 1/4. And now I've gone on to a next sheet where we're starting hare. So I'm on like the next bit. So there is a lot to go. I'm under no illusion that it's going to take a while. I hopefully, really hope that I'll have this done in time for Halloween. Like I say, I haven't really started too many projects. I'm quite enjoying working a lot on one. Yeah, I don't know how it'd work. I don't know if I'd like to start. Don't get me wrong, there's some fantastic patterns out there, and I can see why everyone wants to sort of jump in and start one and start another one. It's easy done. But yeah, I really want to spend a lot of time and work on this and get as much into it as I can. I like the linen as well. I think it was a good choice. It's on 36 count, because that tends to be what my vibe. I tend to work on a 36, and it's Cactus Wren. I'm not sure whether is that fox and rabbit. I haven't wrote on it. I'm not sure. Cactus Wren. But yeah, I think it's a lovely colour. I think it's going to go really well with the pattern. Some fantastic. It's all DMC threads. But yeah, there's so many lovely colours in there. I'm really looking forward to seeing that one evolve, shall we say. So yeah, I've enjoyed working on that, although it is, like I say, it's quite time consuming just because the sheer amount of colour changing. And I think as well, because I'm fairly new to cross stitching, it's just going to take me a while to get my head around it and changing all the colours, but we'll get it. And I'm loving it. I'm really enjoying it. And I think if you enjoy working on something, it's half the battle, isn't it? You know, it's not an unenjoyable experience, so I don't mind. I'm quite happy to sit and stitch away on this. Now this, I actually forgot to mention this. So I bought myself, I didn't have any project bags. I know, poor me. I need to up my game, because I keep seeing all these amazing floss tubers out there with all of these gorgeous, not just gorgeous project bags, all these project bags that match your own projects, which is fantastic. But I purchased this, so I forgot to mention, I'd said a couple of times, I don't even know whether it was about 2 or 3 Flosstubes ago that I'd bought myself a project bag, and I thought it needed a little mention because I think it is such beautiful fabric. Oh, I think it's lovely. We've got a little tiny, it's like a little bit of leather on the zip, on the pull, and then it's obviously like the see-through front. But I bought this from a lady on Instagram, and she's called Jilly Makes. She's made a lot of project bags before, but they tend to be more like knitting bags, which are gorgeous, but obviously I don't knit. I crochet, but I don't knit. But she just released a couple of these cross-stitch bags, and it was literally like they went on Etsy and they flew out. So it was a case of just literally pressing the buy button instantly. So yeah, I took a chance and thought, but I knew that, I just thought that material is just lovely. I like quite a pale, soft, muted type of, so yeah, right up my street. So that is beautiful. So it's Jilly Makes. I'll pop her in the description below if anyone wants to go in. I don't think she's on YouTube or anything on Flosstube, but definitely if you want to go and have a little look at her Instagram. So yeah, this one has got my Stacey Nash animal cracker that I've been working on. So I have shown you before, it's just Humphrey the elephant. Sorry about the reflection there. And I've worked a little bit more on him. Again, not got too far. I think we underestimate sometimes how long cross stitching actually takes, don't we? I mean, I do a lot of embroidery, and I don't know, I find my embroidery comes together an awful lot quicker than my cross stitching, but like I say, it's fine. I thoroughly enjoy it, and it takes me away and gives me moments of peace, and yeah, so I'm more than happy to sit and stitch. There's no rush. But yeah, so this is where we've got up to with Humphrey. So we've got top bit of his jumper, gone onto his face, obviously his big trunk, and yeah, that's looking good. That's in my Q-snap. I still haven't got myself a Nurge hoop. I'm desperate to try the plastic Nurge, like the square ones, and I know Emma kindly, is it Emma X Stitching? She kindly offered to, because she also lives in Southport, ironically, another Emma, she kindly offered to drop me one round to try, but I'm sure I'll like it, the Nurge hoop. I can't see me not liking it. I just need to get it ordered. I have a long list of things that I would like to order at the moment. So yeah, trying to be a bit sensible and work on with things that I've got. So I must definitely get myself one of the Nurge plastic hoops, because I think they'll be great. As much as I do really enjoy the Q-snap, I would also like to try one of the Nurge ones. So yeah, so that's where we're up to on those two projects. So they're the main two cross-stitching projects that I've got going on at the moment. But I have just signed up, so anyone that knows of the Primitive Hare, I think they do some absolutely gorgeous patterns. They have just come over to Patreon, which I thought was fantastic. So instantly signed up and become a member of their Patreon, and they released a pattern at first, but I think I'd seen somebody else. I think it was is it Mama Loves GB? I don't know whether it was her Flosstube, I'm not sure, but someone had mentioned about this pattern and I didn't realise. I think it's been released. If you go on their Instagram, it's called Protection. I'll add a little picture in here. I think you could comment and get that pattern for free, but I didn't know that at the time, so I'd already signed up for their Patreon. So as a Patreon member, you got that pattern for free anyway, straight away, which I was a bit confused. I thought that was the first Patreon release, but I don't think it is. I think that was just a pattern that had been released anyway, and it is open for other people to get free of charge, because it's just landed the other day and they have just released Fireflies, it's called. Again, I'll add a picture in here. But yeah, it looks lovely. It looks a good pattern. I haven't started it. I've just printed it out. Got plenty of linen, so I think I might dive into that one and make a start on that one. But it's cute, isn't it? That's fireflies. I don't know whether, I think that they've said that they might release, I think she's looking at releasing a couple throughout the month. So I don't know whether, she said something about the next one's going to be smaller. I think this was supposed to be like a smaller pattern, but it's turned out a little bit bigger than I planned. So I don't know whether there's another one going to come, and then but it's going to be a smaller one. But anyway, how lovely. And if we are getting 2 patterns a month, wow, even more amazing. But yeah, Patreon's a bit dangerous, isn't it? So if anyone knows of anyone else, any other good cross stitchers that have got some good patterns and that out on Patreon, let me know, comment below and let me know, because yeah, that's a bit of a slippery slope, that one, isn't it? It's a bit of a rabbit hole. I think you could fall down Patreon and spend an absolute fortune. But yeah, if there's anyone that I'm not, so I'm only Patreon to the Witchy Stitcher and now the Primitive Hare. But yeah, if there's any others that I'm desperately missing out on, that I need to get on board with, just comment and let me know. And yeah, that is quite dangerous. So what else have I been up to? I started a brand new pattern. I finished the pattern and I have made it into a fully finished object. So the pattern was actually a Barbara Ann pattern, and it was called Strawberry Dreams, and it's a free pattern. And I'd seen a few people stitch some of her work, and I really like it. It's not normally something that I think I'd go for. They're quite bright, they're quite bold, they're quite out there, but there's something just lovely about them. I really like them. There's a couple of them now that I've gone and had a look on a shop that I really like the look of, and I think I'd definitely go back and stitch another one. But sometimes I think it's nice, if you're new to a new designer, sometimes I think it's nice to try one of the free patterns just to get a taster, to see whether you like that style, you like those colours, because obviously there's so many cross-stitching patterns and designers out there that not everyone is going to like everything and everyone. I totally get that. So yeah, I think sometimes with the free patterns, don't be put off, try them, because it's a good way of giving it a go. Because like I say, I wouldn't have necessarily probably been drawn to that designer and those patterns, but I must admit I really like them, and I'm really tempted now as well. I've seen somebody else talking about it on Flosstube the other day, saying that she's just stitched, is it the Mad Hatter that she's done, and she would also like to stitch this next one that I would love to. I think it's called the Dreaming Girl. So a lot of them are like silhouettes of, if you don't know what I'm talking about, a lot of them are the pictures of the girl's face with all this gorgeous flowing hair, and then all sort of things in the hair or above the hair. It sounds a bit bizarre, but they're lovely, and some of them are gorgeous. So I've had a look, so I'm quite tempted to order the, I'm sure it's the Dreaming Girl. But I will show you. So my, what did I say it was called? Strawberry, I've wrote it down, Strawberry Dreams, because I didn't want to forget her. So there she is. Oh, I love her. And I've actually made her into a travelling sewing case. So these were a big thing quite a while ago, which I'll talk to you about in a minute. Let me just show you the pattern first. Hope you can see that. It's the light, it's not too bright there. But oh, isn't she lovely? Like I say, probably not a pattern, probably not something so bold and colourful that I would normally have gone for. Yeah, I love her, and I love her even more. So I'd done a travelling sewing box a while ago. I've brought that with me as well, because I know someone had commented on my last video saying that they'd like to see the travel sewing case. So these were a big thing a while ago, weren't they? And everyone kind of jumped on board of buying a cheap jewellery box especially a certain brand that you can get on Amazon, but others are available. So yeah, everyone jumped on board this buying a jewellery box, basically tearing it apart and completely refiguring it all and redesigning it and blinging it all up, basically doing whatever you want to it, and then it's got all of your stitchy little bits inside. So I made my embroidery one quite a while ago, but then I thought, oh, it'd be quite cool to have a separate cross stitching one, because obviously I've got different needles for my cross stitching, and I thought it'd be quite sweet to have a smaller one, because there's not loads and loads of stuff that I'm using for cross stitching, you know, good little pair of scissors. I'm using two different, I think it's 26 and 28 needles, and that's about it really. So I thought it'd be really good to have a small, more compact one. So when I'd completed this pattern, I just thought straight away, I thought, oh, wouldn't that be gorgeous to put on top of my sewing box, my sewing case? Because I think last time in my last Flosstube, I was telling people about how we have I mean, obviously I'm new, so I'm not entered into that world yet so much of having so many finished pieces, but not fully finished. And they kind of just left and sat, and we don't really know what to do with them. And I thought, you know what, I really like that. I really like the finish, and I thought it would fit perfect. And I just thought it'd bling up the box. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. So all I've done is I bought some mount board. So cut out my finished piece, put it on some mount board, and then I've literally just glued it, hot glue gunned it to the box, and then I've put a black ribbon around the edge just to sort of seal it, and then just to neaten it up really, and put a big bow, and then these little tiny, I think they're just like little flower embellishments. I don't even know where they came from. They were just in my box of, I don't know what you could call it really, a box of gloriness, happiness, craftiness, embellishments and ribbons and yeah, everything. So they were hidden in there. So yeah, let's open it up and I'll show you what we've done. So it's a bit plain still at the moment, but like I say, I'm going to keep it. I don't want to put an awful lot in there. So this was my little locket. For anyone that didn't see my last Flosstube, I cross-stitched this tiny, I don't know whether it's picking up there, this tiny little mouse, that just so happened to fit inside this locket by chance. I bought those when we were in Llandudno, from this tiny, this amazing like craft shop full of all kinds of wonders, and it fitted perfectly. So yeah, that's hanging there pride of place, because my eyes are still trying to recover from doing a 1/1. Never ever to be repeated again. Never. Just putting that out there. I love it. I'm so proud, so proud of her. But no, 1/1, these eyes we're not at that level no more. So she's hanging. Got some little scissors in here. Put another piece of the black ribbon with a huge big bow just along. There's a little pocket. Sorry, my hand was in the way there. That's just a little pocket. So I thought just to cover that up. This is a Kohana, to put your needles on, like a needle minder. So it's magnetic. I just thought it was lovely colour. It's like a button, isn't it? Like a big button. So I had, which I thought was quite clever. I was I like to use things that we've got. So this pink thing that I've backed here, I bought some Kohana magnets, which is for something else, which I'll talk about in a minute. And this came in the box, and it is actually a magnetic, just literally a magnetic sheet. So I backed it. So I thought to myself, oh, if that's magnet, I could stick that on there. And as well, under here is always the make of the jewellery box. And obviously you don't really want just a random a random designer's make wrote on there. So I wanted to hide that anyway. So I thought, oh, I wonder if I could put some backing fabric onto the magnetic sheet and stick that on there. I thought, I wonder if that would work. So again, in my scraps box, I found this gorgeous, just a linen, lovely pink, just quite a thick, coarse, rough type of linen. And it does look, yay, so it sticks because it's a magnet. So that's just going to stick on there. And then, like I said, I might put something else on, or I might just leave it quite plain. And then if I just tilt that, so here, this again was part of the jewellery box. I've took it all apart and put backing fabric all on there, and basically just redesigned it all, cut down all these pieces so it would hold these little tiny, like a little test tube, aren't they? These have got my needles in, and then it did have a sticker on the side of it, of the make and the size, but I didn't really want the sticker on, so I took the sticker off and cleaned it all up. But I did cut the size out. You see there's a bit blurry. 20, is that 28? And just stuck, yeah, it's 28. Stuck the stickers on the top because I use a 28 and a 26. So I thought I'll know then the two sizes of my needles. And then what I was super impressed with, here, this side, let me just shut that over. I'm just hoping you can get a good view. There, that's a little bit better. So in this side, it's a box. So I had, it's actually a Jo Malone box. And I don't know whether it had a soap in it or something in it, but it fitted absolutely perfectly in this box. And if you can see, there's like foam, that's a foam insert with all these slits. So what that's for is when I was working on my Patreon on the witchy stitcher one, because it's the DMC thread, so I've got an awful lot of DMC threads from my embroidery, and I've put them all onto bobbins, but I bought the acrylic bobbins from Pip and Chip. So that's a company in England that make, I think it's like a family run business, and they make floss drops, bobbins, all that, everything, you know, all of those bits and pieces. I'm going off on a tangent now, I'm forgetting what I'm saying. So basically, a lot of people know about that company, and they make inserts. So they'll make certain inserts, well, they make them to fit anything basically. You can customize, and they'll make something to fit whatever for you. So I think they make a lot for like some of the IKEA units that people use to store all the bits and bobs in. Anyway, to cut long story short, going around the world here, I contacted them, and they've custom made me that piece to fit inside that box, and it holds your little bobbins. So bear with, I'll get a bobbin and I'll show you. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Sorry, I did tell you today was going to be a bit all over the place, because this is what happens when you don't make notes and you just randomly think, I know, let's just do a floss tube. So these are the Pip and Chip. I'll just get this one out for example. They're the bobbins that I use. Sure, you've seen them. They're acrylic, about 3mm thick. But I also purchased from Pip and Chip the colours, a pack of the stickers, which is really clever because it's got the numbers on, but obviously the numbers colour coordinate with your thread. So this one, just for example, is 435, which is like a bit of a goldy type colour, but the colour on there is pretty much the colour of your thread. So all you'll do with these bobbins is push them down in there. How amazing is that? So when I'm working on a project, she's just going to be DMC, because obviously I've only got the DMC threads on the bobbins. I haven't worked out yet what on earth or how on earth I'm going to store my week's dye works, because that's going to be a whole new rabbit hole to go down, I think. But for the DMC, so you literally would just stack them all along, so I can put all my threads in there as I'm working. And I just thought that is just such a genius idea, because I don't know about you, I end up with sat down when I'm cross stitching and I've got stuff everywhere, and I thought there's quite a lot of threads, especially in this design, as I've said, that with them changing colours so much, there's a lot of thread. So I thought that would be absolutely fantastic to keep them all, and it's quite a small size box as well. So I'm so chuffed. So I need to get in touch with Pip and Chip, and I'm going to send them a picture and let them know that that is just fantastic. It couldn't have worked out any better. I love it. I think it's such a good idea. I hope you all love it as much as I do. I'm going on and on about it here. I hope you like it as well. But I just think anything to keep everything like neat and tidy and just a bit more organised, because cross stitching can be a bit chaotic, can't it? There's stuff all over the place. So yeah, I'm absolutely made up. So that's my little travel sewing box, which with my gorgeous Barbara Ann design. Go and download it. It's free, gorgeous pattern. Everyone's talking strawberries at the moment, so we've got a couple of strawberries hanging there. Yeah, and it came together pretty quickly actually, considering. So yeah, that's that. And talking about Kohana, I bought this. This is called Cocoknits. This is called, and I presume it was for knitting. But basically this is magnetic. So you open it up and it slides along. So it kind of looks like you'd stand up your laptop or something like that, or your iPad or something. And these were the Cocoknits. Oh, they're not Kohana. Sorry, I don't know why I said Kohana. The magnetic sheet that I stuck inside to stick the Kohana needle minder on. The board behind it that I backed it is Cocoknits. Sorry, in case I did say Kohana, I don't know whether I did back then. The magnetic board came with these magnets that I purchased. So when I purchased these, that was the backing board that I've now used in there. So basically, because it's all magnetic, I put my pattern. I can't show you because I can't put a pattern. On. I don't want to show anyone's pattern. I'll get into trouble. But basically, you can put pattern on there, and then I stick it down with these magnets. But it's so handy because it's all magnetic. I can just put my needle on there. I can put sometimes the scissors. They're magnetic. They'll stick on there, and then there's a bit of space at the front where I'll put like my highlighter, because I work a lot just with printed patterns. I don't think I'd get on with them being online. I like a printed out pattern and to cross off my stitches as I go. So yeah, I don't know whether that's of any interest to anyone, but I find it so useful. So it can just sit there next to me with my pattern magneted on there, magnet my needle on. It's really, really useful. So I'm going to look the part now on. I'm going to have that there with my pattern on. I'm going to have my little travel sewing box next to me with all my little bits and pieces in there. So yeah, and then it just all folds down. So I even leave my pattern and I even leave my needle in there as well. Literally just close it at night or whenever I've finished, and it's done and dusted. So yeah, I can't recommend that enough. I think it's just brilliant. It's Cocoknits is the make if anyone's interested. I bought it online. I think there was a few. I don't know if you can get them in a few different colours as well. But yeah, I just find it so useful. So I think that's all the cross stitching at the moment. I'll quickly show you my, while we're talking about the travel sewing cases, I'll quickly show you my embroidery one. Now I've just actually when I was doing the front of the cross stitching one, it made me think that I should really pimp up my embroidery one, bling it up a bit more. So this is the front of my embroidery case now. Do you like it? I love it. So this was a piece of embroidery that I'd done at a workshop at Nikki's. Just zoom in there, if you can see it a bit better. At the stitchery, I'd done this, was it last year or the year before? And again, it was just sat in a bag, not really doing anything. And it's such a beautiful piece. There's so many gorgeous flowers around there. I hope you can see that all right, and all the delicate stitching. So yeah, I thought, you know what, I need to put something on this. And I actually found as well, so this little linen label, it says all you need is love. And that was that was done on a typewriter, and it was done at Nikki's when I was down at Nikki's, and I just put it in my box. I mustn't have used it for whatever reason. I think we were just doing stuff on the typewriter, and it got put in the in my box of scraps. So when I come to do this the other day and put this on, I found the label and I thought, you know what, that's probably perfect. And I found that other little one there that says love. Again, that was done on the typewriter. So I've stuck them on the front, and then I've just put a piece of that gorgeous velvet ribbon right the way around the box, just to hide the sides and neaten it up a bit really. So yeah, quite chuffed with that again. So that piece of work on the linen, I just put it on mount boards, stuck that down on the mount boards, and then just hot glue gunned it to my travel case. And I think that's worked out well. And then I'll just show you inside there. So like I say, this is more of my embroidery case. But yeah, you get the gist. So again, I took it apart. All these bits have been backed with a material, and basically it's just full of all loveliness. There's a tiny pin cushion there that lovely Sue made, who works a lot alongside Nikki. She's got, I think it's a folksy shop, I think. I'll include Sue's name down on the description. I know she's on Instagram, and then she'd made this as well. Look at that. So it's a thimble, but it's a little tiny pin cushion. Isn't that just adorable? And that kind of goes with the other one that I already had. So I'd bought that from Sue, and that just sits in the side there. We've got some tiny, these have got little tiny sequins in. I've done some beadwork, never with cross stitch. I've done some beads and sequins with Nikki on her workshop. So they're in there. What's this one? So obviously I've sort of like added all material and bows. I think that's the beeswax. Let me just have a little look. Oh, it is, yeah. So you know these little beeswax, the conditioners, you know, that you just run, sort of shape of a bee. So you run your thread through it, and it's supposed to make it easier. It goes through the material easier. So I've got some of those. But again, like I say, I sort of, I changed the box and added little bows and all kinds of silly little things, really. But yeah, I love it. I think it's gorgeous. I've got some metallic. I don't like working with metallic threads. There's a gold and a silver. Again, worked on some of my embroideries with those, and they do give a gorgeous effect. They're just quite difficult to work, or I find them quite difficult to work with. They're not very easy to thread your needle. They're like a straw. They like I say, they give a lovely effect for certain pieces, but they're not my favourite. And then this, so Nikki I'd give us this when we were down at the stitchery. It's like a tiny, I don't know whether it's a watchmaker's box, they call them. It's like, oh, I don't want to tip it, but it's got tiny, tiny sequins in there. So yeah, I love all the little miniature, cute little bits. And then I've got that little bottle. It's got some more beads in there. So yeah, basically it's just full. I put that in that's got pegs in it, some little wooden pegs. This little bag, it's just a bag I had, but then I got a pin, which happens to be the same colour, the stitchery, and then that's got my little, is it the clover clips? Keep them in there, keep them in the bag, pop those in there. So yeah, basically, you can just buy these jewellery boxes. Like I say, they're really, really reasonable. I mean, I'm sure you can get them in many places. It's just that Amazon have got an awful lot of them. And you can do as much or as little as you want to them. So like, obviously, I've left the pocket there on that one. Haven't done anything to that. Whereas obviously on my other one, I'd stuck the big black ribbon across it. But yeah, it's entirely up to you. You can go as crazy, do as much or do as little as you want. I'm just going to pause 1 minute. Just need to, the boys are coming back, so I'm just going to shut the door over. Sorry, it won't be 1 minute. Okay, right, we're back. Sorry, I shut the door over. The boys have just come back from football, so I thought before they start talking and don't know I'm filming. So yeah, like I was saying, you can go as crazy or not, or keep it as simple as you want, really. But yeah, so I'm really happy with that. I'm really happy with the top on that as well. I think they look lovely with the bits on the top. So yeah, so that's my embroidery one. And last time with my embroidery, I was working on, do you remember when I was, well, if you're new here, you won't know what I'm talking about, but if you'd watched my last video, I was working on the mushroom. So the big piece that's got all the different types of mushrooms on it. I have completed it. Yay! It's finished, it's not fully finished. Haven't decided, I think I'm going to frame it, but there we are. Oh, isn't it lovely? I never ever thought I'd like mushrooms or to see mushrooms so much. But yeah, it's worked out really well. Lovely, aren't they? So like I said, I just need to decide what I'm going to do with that. I do think I'm going to frame it. I hope you can see them. So these are the ones that are padded. They had foam, not foam, felt. They had felt underneath them, so they've sort of made them a bit more raised. But yeah, I definitely think that deserves to be in a frame. I'd like that. I'd like to put that on the wall, I think. So yeah, I'm glad to have got that finished. That one's done. And I've managed to do my monthly. So the monthly kit that I've been putting into the scrapbooks, I've managed to finish. This month's was larkspur. So that was the embroidery, the embroidered piece for this month's. So it's all like lilacs and purples. It's lovely, isn't it? Didn't take too long actually, this one. Some months do, they're quite, oh, I need to stick them in as well, so it's not stuck in yet. Oh gosh, I've been staying up there. Yeah, it was a really nice one to do. And then I finished, again, if you've been following me, you'll know I'm making mine into a scrapbook. And then the opposite page, obviously. So I do a page that's got the embroidery on, and then a page that's going to be like all the scrapbook stuff, really. So there it is. There is larkspur for this month. And all little bits and pieces or the pictures. Always like to look what the plant or flower was used. So apparently this is, or larkspur was used to heal wounds, but it is toxic. So obviously I would never have known that. So it's quite interesting, you sort of do a bit of research as well on things as you go along. So yeah, that's this month's up to date. Like I said, I've got to stick them in. I've got to get myself some bonder web. Actually, I spoke to Nikki the other day actually about getting some from her, so I can stick them in. But yeah, so that's all coming together lovely. So I'm all up to date with my embroidery as well. All of those are done and dusted. So yeah, I don't know what I'm going to get up to next. Then going back a while ago, doing the monthly subscriptions. Nikki done one. I can't remember whether this was 2 years ago, I'm not sure. Postcards, I think it was postcards from England. The subscription, the monthly subscription was. And we did literally make them into postcards. So I'll quickly show you. So that was January's. Let's just get my board. So each month we'd have a gorgeous embroidery, and then we backed them on this paper. It's like natural. Is it called rag paper? I can't remember because I looked it up the other day for someone. I can't remember now what they're called, but yeah, it's like all quite rustic and raw around the edges. So yeah, basically we've backed them onto these, and then they did come as well with little tiny, like I was saying before, that's not the right month, I've just picked that one up, I think that was February's, isn't it? On the typewriter, so you can add these on. You could either stick them onto it, or what I am going to do, so I bought from Nikki, but I know she gives you the instructions as well, so you can make these yourself. It's a linen book. So this is the gorgeous big tie to tie it at the sides. And it is just pages of linen. All different pages of linen. So each page, it's like your page of a book, and then obviously the book shuts, so you can tie it. Oh, it's beautiful. So what I thought was, because again, this is just sat in the house, not doing anything, and going to, it was quite hard to hold because it's super floppy, the linen. I'm going to put them on. So what do we think? I know you can't see them, I'm going to hold it up. I'm going to try. So I thought, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. There's just no easier way of doing this. Let's try and get it on the board and see if that's any better. I fold it over. Sorry, bear with. It's like Blue Peter. Let's just show you. So what I did think was, oh yeah, look at it on there. I think that's going to look gorgeous. And then what I might do, like I said, I know that's not the right month, but I think I'm just going to put like the tag there of each. So each page will just work its way through the months throughout the year. But yeah, that's going to look lovely, isn't it? Oh, I think it will. I hope you think it will. So yeah, that's January's. I'll quickly whiz through them for you if you're interested. If you're not interested and you were just here for the cross stitching, please feel free to disappear. I'm just going to be talking a little bit about embroidery now. So if this isn't your thing, then please feel free to cut me off. So this was February's. Again, I'll pop it on there. So I think she's kind of gone, obviously, February, Valentine's. I think we've kind of gone with the theme of obviously whatever's happening, or what that month is known for. But I think it's that dove holding the little love letter. But yeah, I think it's going to be gorgeous on that, isn't it? On the linen paper, once that's all in. And like I say, with the little tag with the date. So that was February. March. What's that? Welcome spring. And it looks like welly boots with all the flowers coming out of it. That's a nice one. So yeah, these came as a kit each month. She always does a subscription each month. So when you sign up, you get the kit every month that's got all your bits and bobs, you know, your linen, your threads, everything. And each year there's a different theme. So that's why this year it's the herbarium. That's the scrapbook one that I'm doing. But this one was, like I say, this could have even been maybe 2 years ago. Oh, I don't know, the way time flies. So this is April's. That's pretty, isn't it? Lovely little cottage. And the trees and all the flowers of the little garden path. So yeah, that was April's. Then we've got May. Let's see what May was. Oh, so May is a jug of flowers. Oh, I think they're going to look lovely in the linen book, aren't they? I just need to put them in to attach them all in. But yeah, that's another nice one. To be honest, they're all nice. I can never pick which my favourite is. June, we've got the hot air balloons. So this one as well, in case you're wondering why there's different colours on some of them. It's watercolour. So we've watercoloured the linen, the background. So obviously that's give us the sky effect and the grass. So that's a fun thing to do if you never watercoloured on linen. Obviously you would try and do it before you stitched, otherwise you run the risk of the watercolour sort of bleeding into your stitching. So that was June's, that was the hot air balloons. July, oh, this is a good one, the beach huts. So if you live near the seaside or you're lucky enough to live in a beautiful place where you've got these gorgeous beach huts, or if not, we can admire them. We don't have them here in Southport, but you know, they've got them. We're not too far from Lytham. Lytham's beautiful, and they've got these gorgeous beach huts, and you can hire them and spend the day there. So they're pretty. Then August, we've just got a gorgeous big bunch of flowers. So again, that's quite a pretty one. That was August. We've got September, so we're sort of getting into the autumn. We've got the scarecrow in the field, trying to keep the little crows away and the birds from stealing all his crops. Then we've got October, which is just a lovely field with all the trees turning different colours. So you know when you get the leaves that go really crispy and orange and brown. That's October's. November. Oh, we're getting ready for Christmas, aren't we? So we've got a nice big wreath, Christmas wreath on the door. So here we've just added this bow in as well. Almost just, oh no, it's just been flattened a bit. Probably with the iron. That stands up a little bit there, the bow. So that's November's, and then December's. We're right into Christmas, and she's posting a letter, posting a mail. In a post box with a little robin on the top. So that was a lovely series to collect, and I think, like I say, I just need to I need some Bonds or Web. I think is probably going to be the best to get those put into the book and add the little tags on, and I think they'll look lovely in there. So hopefully I can get that done and finished. And probably my last thing to show you, I haven't managed to get much crocheting done, but last time I think I'd received, so I'm part of Toff's conservation subscription as well, where they send out a pattern for an animal that is endangered or sadly doesn't exist anymore. And that's interesting because obviously you get to know a lot about different animals, and again a lot of information that you wouldn't really know about. So this month I'll add the pattern in here, well, a picture, and you can see what I'm making. So yeah, we've literally just made his shell and his tummy so far. Excuse the random bit of wool left. So yeah, I've sewn them, crocheted them all together and stuffed it so it's all squidgy. But that is as far as I've got. Just looks like a big giant disc at the moment. So that's as far as we've got at the moment with that one. So I need to desperately need to get on to doing some more crocheting as well, don't I? So yeah, I think that's it. One more thing that I did actually watch, and I forgot to mention as well, about cross stitching. So for anyone that knows about the primitive needle, they've been out a long time, the patterns and the designs. And the lovely lady, the creator, the designer of all those patterns, sadly passed away. For anyone that doesn't know, this was 2011, and Mariah, now her daughter, is actually reworking the patterns. Well, not necessarily reworking them, but basically putting them into PDF form and putting them out there on the website for people to buy, because obviously they must have only ever been printed patterns, and they've not been in circulation for a long time, or not in production for a long time. So yeah, a lovely daughter, Mariah, is now making them all digital and putting them on a website for people to buy. And I watched, let me just check that I've got this right, I've wrote it down, Cross Stitch the Globe. I watched her, I'll add the name down as well, and I watched an interview with her, with Mariah, getting interviewed the other day on a Flosstube, and it was such a lovely interview. Even if you don't really know much about the designer, which I didn't, obviously, I don't know much about the patterns. It was just a lovely thing to watch, and how she's sort of gonna like take on her mum's legacy really, and obviously put it back out there for people to purchase and cross stitch, and it was lovely. It's definitely worth a watch, and it might even sway you into buying one of the patterns, because I think I'm definitely going to purchase at least one of them. And yeah, it was a lovely story, and her daughter's doing wonderful, so definitely go over and give that a watch as well. And if you are interested, obviously, like I say, now she's selling the patterns as PDF, so there might be something there that you find interesting or want to go and purchase. So yeah, go and give that a good watch, a good listen to. And as for plans, I don't really know. I have no idea what I want to work on next. I don't think I want to carry on with what I'm working on at the moment, and I don't know. I think I'm just going to see where this month takes me, really. I know there's people talking about Christmas in July, isn't there? But yeah, I don't know. Don't know whether I'm ready to start thinking about Christmas yet. Halloween maybe. So yeah, we'll see where this month takes me and what we'll get up to. But I hope you're all well. I hope you're all getting plenty of stitching done, stitchy time, and any other crafts that are popping up. Lovely to see you. Thanks so much for joining. Thank you if you're returning. Thank you to any new subscribers. I know we always say this, but honestly, it means so much. I don't like saying, oh, if you can subscribe or if you like, but it really does mean a lot, especially when we're new and we're starting out. So yeah, a huge thank you to anyone that's joining us, or anyone that's commenting, or even more if you're subscribing. Thank you, because it is lovely seeing the little community grow, and seeing and hearing that people are interested in seeing what I'm up to or what I've got to say. So it does really mean a lot. Thank you very, very much. And yeah, stay well, everyone. Happy stitching, take care, and I'll see you all soon. Thank you, bye.